Okay, so let's keep talking about art and time and all of these other concepts I have been touching upon lately due to us reading the book Virtualized World of Capitalism by Marina Burik. So time that you utilize, that you spend looking at products that may inspire more consumption. This is a huge area that we need to look into because we actually are able to exercise more freedom. We can achieve degrees of freedom when we pay attention to what it is we consume and how we consume it, because there are so many imitation pieces of art nowadays that may pretend to be something they're not. And I have been so thoroughly disappointed lately in a lot of the movies and a lot of the production that's been made, artistic production. And I have stopped actually consuming a lot of more mainstream and new art just because it's not art. It's so pathetic. It's just pretending to be something that it's not. And I don't really have much time to waste to just sit around and utilize my time and be inspired by these pieces of trash. And some late examples of the things that really disappointed me has been Hayao Miyazaki's latest movie, which I don't think was necessarily badly done. It was produced pretty beautifully, just like most of Hayao Miyazaki's works are, but the movie was really mediocre. It was not something I would recommend. I was really saddened by this movie because I'm a big enjoyer of Hayao Miyazaki. I really appreciate what he's done in this area of art, in animation pictures, and I think he's inspired so many young people to create beautiful pieces of art as well. And this latest movie of his, I actually have a review on Patreon if you're interested. I actually watched a documentary that was dedicated to the creation of the movie The Boy and the Heron. The movie itself, no, just no. I was so sad to see this movie because it's not good. It's not good. It's confusing. It's about trauma, but it's not. It's trying to be so many things all at once. It's like a mishmash of all the Miyazaki's tropes that make no sense together. There is no cohesion. It's just overdone, it's over the top, it's unnecessary, it's redundant. I was really disappointed, but this just goes to show that under capitalism, even amazing creators like Miyazaki are going to be influenced too negatively, because people cannot stand alone in isolation against all of the influences and the trends that are currently present. They're going to be swayed one way or another. This is what I keep on saying. You are not going to be special. I am not special. A lot of the things that inform my opinions come to me at a great cost. I have to be very conscious about what I consume, how I consume it. I continuously talk to people in my real life about the things that we together consume or I consume on my own. I dissect and I deconstruct and I analyze and I put them back together, and I spend a lot of time doing that. And this is why I don't usually have a lot of time to consume a lot of more modern creations, because I just don't have the power, the strength to sit and deconstruct garbage, and that's a waste of my time and a waste of everybody's time. And it makes me really sad, and it makes me really annoyed that people nowadays are forced almost to consume all of this mediocre imitation of art when they could be consuming some amazing great art that was created. And you still can find some gems in the pile, in this burning pile that is called modern art. Even though the latest, most terrible example to me personally was the remake of Nosferatu. Don't even talk to me about this movie. It was so bad. I was just so mad at this movie. As I was watching it, I was laughing because it was so badly done, so over the top, such bad acting, all of these pretend seizures, convulsions, bodily fluids. That was really unnecessary. It did nothing. It did not communicate anything. It was just useless exploitation type of a movie. I really hated it. It really overused all the genre tropes. I am a big enjoyer of gothic genres. This is not a good movie. It is stupid. It is really silly. This movie, on the other hand, This one is great. It's pretty amazing. It does justice to the source material, even though it changes up quite a few themes. It's much more erotic than the original Dracula. The book Dracula is a very worthwhile piece of work as well. It is not about a vampire, actually. It's not a central theme of this book. The central themes I personally find are friendship, tender and very tender type of friendship, and love that is very sacrificial. It is an amazing tale of overcoming. It is a very beautiful and sentimental piece of work, and I was really surprised when I started reading it, actually, because I did not expect it to be such a tender and nice and heartwarming type of a tale, because generally the public opinion is that it is about a vampire, and it is about, you know, those bad aristocrats that come and spoil our good, hardy American women, which I don't think the original novel was about, even though this is something that can be argued about. What cannot be argued, though, is that Nosferatu, the modern one, is so bad, it just makes me want to cry. And the other very in-your-face bad example of more contemporary art, which for some people may seem to be an older piece of work, is The Hobbit. This movie... If you want a very thorough, great, amazing analysis of this movie, go watch Lindsay Ellis's 3 videos on this movie. She's doing an amazing job at deconstructing this, and also talks about how it ruined workers' rights in New Zealand. I hated this movie so much. It absolutely spoiled even the Lord of the Rings trilogy for me. I was never a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the movie, because of reasons. But overall, The Lord of the Rings is a very worthwhile piece of work. It is a very beautiful, beautiful piece of work. It communicates so many amazing, great, worthwhile ideas to the audience, despite not being very faithful to the source material. But most of the adaptations actually make sense, apart from some things. Helm's Deep, oh my goodness, don't even get me started. But The Hobbit, it spit on all of our childhood memories of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It was an absolute atrocity, abomination. This is not art. This is terrible. I really, really hate what they did with it. It was trash. But again, under capitalism, this is inevitable. There isn't going to be much room for true art. People are not going to receive any kind of funding if they pursue the communication of truth to be their goal, if they pursue to be truly original, because being truly original is not just taking a thing and multiplying it by 10. Being original is not giving some kind of an unnecessary plot twist and doing some kind of a disgusting mystery at the end being revealed. It is not just exploiting the senses of disgust or the senses of horror or the senses of anxiety or panic. Exploitation has no place in art. Obviously, exploitation should not have any place in the human world at all. But alas, under capitalism, everything is exploited. Our childhood memories are exploited. Our nostalgia is exploited. So please, please dedicate some time to deconstructing your own art preferences. If you like some mainstream pieces of art, do consider why, because more often than not, it is not the actual piece of art we may enjoy. It is our associations, our memories, our own story that we may project onto a piece of art. I found that a lot of people actually create their own story when they watch something or they read something or they consume some kind of piece of art. They are not truly genuinely listening to the author. They're making up their own story on the go, which is fine on one hand, but on the other hand, if you are analyzing critically a piece of work, you should listen to the author. You should hear out what they are trying to say before you create your own piece of work that's based around it. So in your own interpretation, remember that there is a true version, a true interpretation of the piece of work. And if yours is drastically different, then it is derivative. It is not actually that person communicating this idea to everyone else. It is you conversing to the author. It is a totally different type of a deal. So let me know what you think about the modern state of art. Support me on Patreon if you're able to. Do take care of yourself and your community first. Subscribe to me on all the social medias if you want to. And I hope you have a great day today, and I'll talk to you sometime later.